We are an island people with a history which can be traced hundreds of thousands of years to the beginning of mankind. Many waves of migration over thousands of years have shaped our rich and diverse culture. We are a combination of East and West now, a blending of indigenous and colonial ideas. And we are also travelers, explorers who have crossed oceans and made new homes far from our Filipino roots. Our links to this land are not new. Our people have been seeking shelter on these shores for almost 100 years.
I see people like hanging out and I have to be at training. First, like I kind of feel like, oh, I'm missing out. But then when I finally like nail a skill in gymnastics that I've been working towards, or I just see myself making progress, it's such a good feeling because you can see that your hard work's paying off. And it's just like a satisfying feeling for me. I didn't know the view was this nice here. You see the gym from here? My family relocated to New Zealand when I was about 3 years old, I think, just to look for a better lifestyle. I was born in the Philippines.
It's basically for the children. We thought it would be good for them to have different opportunities. It's safer, relatively safer, less people. It's just living in a place where you don't worry much about, pollution, overpopulation, and things like that. And we had a thinking that if things didn't work out, we could always, move back to the Philippines.
Have a little warm-up, a little stretch, then maybe we'll do a bit of tramp and we'll begin on floor. Okay.
Sports is a big thing with the family, obviously. It's a way to train one's personality and fitness as well. keNZo was exposed to gymnastics when we celebrated his first birthday in the Philippines. It's what we call a kids gym themed party. That's where he started off.
It's like you're waiting to get to the handstand and then you want to push up. So it's way too late. I met keNZo when he was pretty young. He must have been about 5, 6 years old. Little guy came into the North Harbour Gymnastics Stadium. Started off in the recreational program. I kind of saw a bit of talent there and sort of gave him the opportunity to come over and try some competitive gymnastics.
We are seekers of opportunity. More than 10 million Filipinos have left behind the densely populated cities of our homeland to make our fortune in all corners of the earth. As migrants, we are ambassadors for our people, seizing opportunities and establishing the trail that others may blaze.
The most challenging thing I faced in a gymnastics competition is the nerves. In the moments when I see the crowd, my heart kind of just drops. I get really, really nervous. But then when I'm on the competition floor, it kind of just all goes away and I just focus on what I'm doing. Failure in gymnastics is a very common thing. When you come to training, you'll fail multiple times. Every day you're gonna fall. might even hurt yourself sometimes, but the thing I love about that is you have to pick yourself up and keep trying and trying and trying and trying again.
Like with anything, in order to be successful at it, you have to sort of have a passion for it. Talent is something that you're born with, and we can all appreciate talent, but I personally really respect people who work their butts off at training and, want to do something with that talent.
These medals here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, these were from the 2019 New Zealand Nationals, and those are like special to me because I performed very well in that specific competition. I actually ended up winning in my level, and these were the gold medals I won. These ones here, the ones with the red, were from Texas. When I went to Dallas, Texas in 2019, these are probably my biggest medals and most important medals that I have.
The competition was called the Valery Lukin Invitational, and it was just a competition with around 16 countries there from all over the world.
And that was very special because that was my first ever international competition. It was very surreal to me because the arena that we were competing at was gigantic. It was I've never competed in an arena as big as that one. There's probably 6 different gyms in that one arena where there's 6 different competitions going on at the same time. My most prized trophy would probably be this one. This one goes with these medals from the Valery Lukin Invitational in Dallas, Texas. This was the trophy I got as the all-around champion. That was probably the most meaningful to me because being the all-around champion is the main kind of accomplishment.
Putting on the silver friend was it was quite emotional because this was what I was working towards my whole life basically, competing for New Zealand. I eventually want to reach the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games. That's the ultimate and the pinnacle goal.
Our history is complex and woven from many strands. Perhaps it is this history which has given us an ability to embrace the culture of our new land.
Coming here to New Zealand, my husband and I were very conscious of that we are not going to lose our Filipino heritage and culture. And that's why when we moved here, we really were intentional in speaking to our children in our language here at home. So we would like them to be able to communicate when we go back to the Philippines.
I know that if my family had stayed in the Philippines, our lives would be completely different. I'm not even sure if I'd still be doing gymnastics. But I still identify as a Filipino even though I live in New Zealand.
Even though we are far from the islands of our forefathers, we still hold on to the Filipino value of bayanihan. This is the spirit of camaraderie. To support each other and to share the burden as one big whānau is an intrinsic part of our identity as Filipinos and now as Kiwis. We honor our roots and the sacrifices that have been made to bring us here by living good lives. And we stand on the shoulders of those who have come before us.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.